Welcome back, it's David again. We got that Ruger American Predator, and we're going to do a little more ammo testing in the factory configuration. Of course, I modified that trigger just a little bit. We have a B&T suppressor, that blue line can on there. Discovery Optics optic. If you guys want to know more thoughts about that, I said a little bit on the last video, you know, not that impressed, but the reticle's nice. It's an inexpensive scope. What do we expect? I'm going to be measuring speeds with the Garmin chronograph, and we're going to check 3 more. We already checked the Hornady black ammo and saw it shot pretty decent, but we're going to try the 88 grain ELD-M, 80 grain ELD-M or ELD-X, the hunting bullet. We tried the 75 grain ELD-Ms, and we're going to try the 62 grain ELD-VT, that varmint lightweight one. Man, the box velocity on that one's 3,300 feet per second. We're going to start with that one, and then we're going to work our way down through. We have a target out there. We have the target out there, and I have a camera on it at 100 yards. We're going to shoot some groups with each one of these ammos and let you see what the results look like. Well, there's 5 of them. The 62 grain ELD-VT. You know, box printed velocity is 300 feet per second. We have a 20-inch barrel here, so it's going to be a little less. Looks like we were 3114. 3114. So let's go look at the summary real quick for you. So the minimum was 3,096. The maximum is 3128. Extreme spread of 32, and the SD of 13.3 with that varmint ammo, 62 grain. Not bad, and the day is a little better now. I can see some of those holes, and it looks like it's probably within an inch, maybe an inch and a half. We'll go to the next one and just see what we got there. Suppressor's got some heat into it, so after these 5 shots, we'll probably run a barrel cooler down it just to keep that, to get that to cool down just a little faster before we do our last ELD-M. All right, so 80 grain ELD-X, the hunting bullet. All right, and that's 5 of those. We're going to go ahead and let it cool down, but just so you know, we're at velocity. Our average is 2818 with that 80 grain. We're going to go ahead and look at the summary real quick. So the max was 2824, the minimum 2812. Wow, this is pretty amazing. Standard deviation of 4.2, extreme spread of 11.08. Of course, that's only 5 shots, but that's a pretty tight extreme spread and standard deviation out of factory ammo. I'm going to grab that chamber cooler and see if we can cool this down a little bit. We'll take a quick little break, and then we'll get the last rounds out there. So it's been 5-10 minutes. We popped that chamber cooler out of there. We're going to load up the 88 grain ELD-M and shoot a group of that, and then we'll wrap this up. And that was five, nice and quick. I tell you what, this rifle, just not that steady. You know, a wider fore end would be nicer on this. Maybe I'm just gonna have to try to get on a bipod. Another thing that I noticed with this rifle is there's a ton of flex in that stock. So when you shoot, there's a lot of reverb coming out of that, so the reticle bounces around a lot. Trying to help stabilize that, you know, sitting in that bag, you can get it pretty stable, but not phenomenal. So we'll get back to this real quick. The ELD-Ms, the average velocity is 26-25. We're gonna go ahead and look at the summary real quick. So the max was 27.48, sorry about that, 26.48. The minimum was 26.08. Our average was 26.48, or sorry, 26.25. Extreme spread 40 and SD of 14.5. So it looks like that ELD-X gave us the best results of SDs, but we only had 5 shots. We're gonna go down there, grab that target, see what it looks like, and we'll wrap this up. All right, guys, we got the results. This Ruger American, it really wants to shoot. I think the downside is the stock, the flex in the stock. You see me pinching the barrel here, how much the butt pad moves. Just got a lot of reverb when you pull the trigger. Maybe if you had a lead sled or something, you could tighten up these groups. I'm not gonna shoot that way. I don't own a lead sled. I'm gonna shoot it the way I'm gonna shoot it in the field. Usually off a bag or off a bipod. We'll shoot some more off a bipod down the road, or if we improve the stock or something, maybe we'll go from there. Let's pull up that target and let you take a look at it. I'm gonna set this up here. If we look at this first target real quick, this is the ELD-VT, so that's the varmint, the 62 grain. And if we look at the group, the full group to group, it's almost, shoot, 1 3/4. But we did get 4 in a pretty tight situation there. So if we look at that, that's just under 1 inch. If we look at those 4 in that cluster there, plus this one here, took it out to about 2 inches. So that did pretty good in reality. The one that kind of blew my mind was the ELD-X, that hunting round, the Precision Hunter. Man, that's 5 rounds, and 3 of them are sitting in just about a 1/2 inch. That's 2 shots in one hole and 1 right next to it. No, 3 shots in that one hole and 1, so that's 4 shots. And then number 5 took us outside of the group. So if we measure that outside to outside, we're about 1.25 inches. With the ELD-X. Some vertical stringing, you know, that could be that movement in the stock. Could be me. You know what I mean? I'm just not used to that rifle, the way it recoils, the way the stock interfaces. The one that was a little bit of a disappointment was down here. ELD-M, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th came way down here. I don't know if it was deflected by something. There are some branches down there that I was kind of shooting through. Maybe it hit a branch and that's why it went so low, but you're gonna see it the way I shot it. If we look at the 4 tight ones, we're about 1.5 inches from furthest to furthest. If we add in that far one, about 3, just under 3 inches, so 2 3/4 inch if we measure this big group here. But like I said, I don't know if that wasn't a branch or something that hit. Those 4 are pretty believable. Not bad, still right around 1 inch. ELD-X is definitely the one, so 1.25 inches. ELD-X are definitely the ones that got my attention. Super low SDs, shot a tight group. That's all we have for today. Hopefully you got a little info. We got velocities on a couple more groups of ammo. Got some groups out of it. I still think there's more potential. I think this Ruger American really wants to shoot. I think the next thing, man, all the stocks I want to check are out of stock right now, or I want to try out on this. But when you look at that deflection, and you can see it flexing all the way back to this junction where it hits that receiver. That movement there just causes a lot of reverb through shots. And granted, one shot at an animal, you know, you go down, take your shot, not a big deal, but when you're trying to spot your shot and then recover and get another shot, that movement in that stock, that bounciness, is just no good. We need to have something a little more rigid. Thanks a lot. Make sure you hit subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. And let's see what else the 22 ARC can do for us. Remember, we got that custom build coming out. Make sure you hit subscribe so you'll be notified when we get that one built up. Thanks.